Now, guess what? Millennials and Generation Z or Gen Z pose to be the poorest of all generations. And this is the reason as to why, all right? All what you need to do, sit back, relax. Watch this video with the comfort of your zone so that at least you understand exactly what I'm going to share. And perhaps you're asking yourself, now, who are millennials and who are Generation Z? Let me just explain some bit. Millennials are people who were born in between 1981 to 1995. And Generation Z or Gen Z, actually individuals who were born 1995 to 2015. So these distinctive people, we are called them the generations Millennials and the Generation Z. We have another generation called X that is of now, that is above 2015. But anyway, today we are talking about the Millennials and Generation Z, why they pose to be the poorest of all generations. So for me to explain exactly that, and by the way, this is the research that has been done, and actually statistics are out there. It's kind of shocking. So let me just explain to you bit by bit. Now, for me, or to actually explain to you why they pose these people to be this kind of poor in future generations, it is because, hey, let's look at the characters of the millennials. First of all, these millennials are the people who we call them, they are activists. These people are activists. And guess what? When they say they're activists, they blame everybody, all right? They blame everybody. They say, hey, it is because of the government. I went to the school. If the government can change their policies, hey, if government can do this or the other, hey, I'm a graduate. I'm supposed to be working. I'm supposed to. They feel entitled, okay? See, we say these people, they are very much entitled. So if you meet these people, they are actually entitled. If you ask them, hey, why aren't you financially free? They tell you, hey, guess what? I think it's where I was born from. If my parents did all the other, I could be somewhere. Hey, guess what? Right now, if the government can actually, a little bit adjust the policies, I can be able to invest. Today, starting a business is quite, hard and all those kind of things. They actually find people to blame for the sake of where they are and all those kind of things. Millennials are actually one of the, should I say the talkative people? They are very active people, be it either in the government, outside the government, and all those kind of things. And another thing you find in millennials, they love to compete. They love to compete, and competition to compete. And the things that they are competing about is, hey, they want to prove to themselves that they are the best, they are the smartest, and all those kind of things. They floss and, front all the things that they have achieved. They let you know they are successful. Whenever they buy something, they have to let you know. You cannot relax if they buy something and all those kind of things. They really have to put their lives out there. They really want to show you that, hey, they're enjoying life with a big spoon. That is not a problem. The problem is when you find somewhere to justify your condition. And that is by blaming people, blaming the government, blaming the situation, blaming the country where they are born from. And this is kind of funny. You find, like, for example, if you go to the millennials in Africa, they think Africa is the worst continent, is not giving them the best thing. They think of going to Europe or America. If you go to America, they tell you, hey, America used to be the greatest country of all the time, but I think things are not changing. I think we should do this. They are striking, protesting, coming up with different things and all those kind of things. All right. So you find like millennials in either side, they're actually complaining, and you find and you ask yourself, what's like the best place you can ever be? If the developed world, they're complaining. If you go to the developing world, if you go to the emerging economies and all those kind of things, they still complain. They're the most vibrant people in a society. They tend to suppress the boomer generation. There's a generation called the boomers and what have you. Now, these boomers are kind of our fathers, yeah, and all those kind of things. So you find these guys, we tell them, hey, listen, things are not the same that you guys used to see. We are now on the technology era. We are now on the, AI things and all those kind of things. So these people tend to complain about and all along and be able, and these are the people who are called the activists, actually born out of. Okay, these are the people genuinely they would love to make a change. And personally, wherever I believe or where I sit, as much as they are supposed to be the poorest of all generations, due to how they perceive things, they are likely to make a difference, especially in Africa, because they're the people who are taking up the responsibilities and the powers and what kind of view. But the problem is this: if you meet a wise millennial who understands and knows exactly how the nitty-gritties goes and what have you, these people can actually make or transform a country. This is where the changes usually starts from. But they used to complain, feeling entitled, feeling that they're most smart, they're intelligent, they are educated and what have you. I really don't think it's the best thing that you can ever do, because at the end of the day, that detriments your reputations and what have you. And these are the people who usually find complaining them even where they're employed. They usually feel like their bosses are not doing the best thing. Hey, they feel like, hey, my boss is not giving me the best deal and what have you. I feel like, hey, I should change this job. I think because I'm an engineer, I'm supposed to be paid a lot. I'm worth this amount of money. I can be able to do this. I cannot. All those kind of a blame game and what have you. See, when you're determined to make a difference in your life, when you're determined to do something better, either in terms of the financial sustainability, you really have sometimes to overlook some things for you to actually go ahead, because it involves sacrifice and discipline and what have you. Millennials, you find most of these people, they do invest. Yeah, that's the kind of good thing with them. They do invest, but their life is never private. And there's a video that I made and I said, hey, if you can't keep secrets, then it's be hard for you to actually keep success or keep wealth or keep riches or something of sort. So you find these people, they talk a lot, and the other problem is that they floss, they kind of flood everything that they are owning out there. They want to prove a point and all those kind of things. You find them, they really don't incorporate. They are not open for knowledge. They are not open for being taught and what have you. But it's not overly all. There are chosen few in between them that they can actually go there and they are open into learning and getting some skills. So if you are born in this particular era of 1981 to 1995, what I would advise you to do is that, yes, it may be true the government actually, going ahead and, making you be in the situation that you are. But anyway, if you sit there and start complaining and continuously complain, we're never going to change anything. The point is this: as much as we are trying to push the government to adjust their policies, for everyone to be favored in the system, it's also good to make sure that at least you incorporate that, what we call the hard work, discipline, sacrifice, so that at least you can be able to as well, set aside that small thing that you have to grow your future. Now, the point is this. Let's go to the next point about the Generation Z. Now, this is kind of an interesting generation, by the way. This Generation Z, or this, we call them the Gen Z. That's what people call them. These are guys who were born in between 2015 to 1995 to 2015. Now, Gen Z, on the other hand, is kind of an opposite of millennials. And you find millennials usually complain or fight with the Generation Z. Why? Because Generation Z, the millennials, they understand the importance of saving, sacrificing in one way or the other. Not all of them. Remember, I'm not trying to contradict myself. Some of them do incorporate that. But now when it comes to Generation Z, they don't care. They don't care. They are don't cares. All right? Provided they are happy. If they buy themselves an Air Force Jordan, whatever, Beats by Dre, they are just happy. They have nice looking. They don't care who is the government. They don't care who is the president. They don't care what's happening, provided they eat, provided they can be able to go and throw a party in that weekend, provided they can be able to gather their friends and all those kind of things, provided they can be able to go and drink and what have you. They don't care. Millennials would love to pull this generation into the understanding so that at least they can all go ahead and do something to do with the change of the government, and if it means revolution and what have you. But these guys don't even consider that. They really don't even care what's going out there. So the point is this: you find this generation, some people are called them scatters. These people are called scatters, meaning the issue to do with investment, the financial advice. Probably most of them don't even watch me. And if they do, then I probably don't make sense, because you find these people, they love to watch things to do with comedy. They love to watch things to do with what's trending, what song is out, what game is out there, and all those kind of things. They would rather, they would rather, follow information about if there is any celebrity crashes, and I don't know who broke up with who is doing what with who, and all those kind of things, rather than, hey, who is vying for the presidency in Brazil. I mean, Joe Biden is actually fighting for the presidency with Trump and what have you. There is a Prime Minister Trump. They don't care about that. I mean, that is not. It's not a thing that they should even bother about. Even if you ask them, for example, if in Kenya you ask them, how many counties do we have in Kenya? They don't know. They don't care, They just love to know, hey, where do we have the best club? Where do we have the best place where you can throw a party? I mean, where is that place that you can recommend for a zip lining and what have you? So these guys are actually considered scatters, meaning they don't incorporate things to do with saving, money management, and what have you. These are the people, when you tell them to save and what have you, they tell you, hey, life is short. They say, there is a term they're coming up with, is called YOLO. Yeah, you only live once. That's what they're saying. It's YOLO. You only live once. So point is this: these are the guys who I don't give you know what they say, you know how they talk and what have you. And again, you find these people, you see, when it comes to creating wealth, building that wealth and growing in future. You find you need to have yourself the sacrifice, just like I said. And again, these people, they have a problem with them because they are thinking about the fast way of making money. They think about crypto coin, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, that is, and what have you. This faster thing, the forex trading and what have you. If you talk that kind of a language, you resonate with this generation. They really don't have that time. Some people actually call them like micro oven or oven generation or something of sort, because everything to them has to be fast. Because hey, guess what? Millennials, at least they grew up in quite a tough generation or time, but these guys are actually growing up in a generation where everything is actually offered at a click of a button. And that's why you tell them, hey, you can invest on money market fund. And you tell them, hey, you can invest in let's say an X company. If you go to the YouTube, or rather to the Google, and search X company, you go to the official website, they ask you, just send me the link, just send me the link. They just want everything simplified. It's just a link. They will click, take them to their whatever, and again they take a screenshot of that website, they send it back to, they tell you, where should I go now? You are like, oh my goodness, come on, you're already on the website. You can just maneuver around that website to be able to register a thing, or one thing or the other. Now this generation, they find like, I'm avoiding using the term lazy, but a lot of people are considering these people lazy. Some of them are very innovative. Some of them actually are doing things like, and I don't know why, and I stand corrected. You find most of these people, most of the talent that they have is about dancing, music, rapping, art, drawing and what have you. Yeah, I know those are very, like creative industries and what have you. But in millennials, for those who are interested into investing, you find them in things like real estate and what have you. But they're not so much into real estate. They're into technology and what have you. The boomers, the parents to the millennials, the boomers now, they're the ones who are so much interested in the real estate and what have you. And you can just imagine a boomer resonating with the Gen Z. Gen Z boomers cannot be able to handle this generation. This generation is out of control. It's out of hand. And at this particular point, we can say only God can salvage this generation. So if those guys, and you wonder what kind of a generation they will bring forth, I don't know how the future looks like, but it's kind of dull, honestly. I'm not here to sell any hope, but that's for a fact. I just said the way it is. So anyway, the point is this. These two generations, they are kind of tricky. Because these generations, first of all, they are very rebellious to wherever they come from, and therefore they do not incorporate or buy the idea of savings and what have you. They are so much having something called the consumer mindset. Have you ever heard of something called consumer mindset? These people, they have a lot of that kind of a mentality. So anyway, guys, that's the video that I was talking about. These two generations supposed to be the poorest of all generations. Hey, guess what? What you are thinking? What's your mind? Tell me down below. And I know maybe probably you are millennial or you're Gen Z. Probably you might disagree with this video, of which is okay. We say, hey, this is a democratic country, and this is the democratic platform where anybody can share their idea, provided with respect to everyone who is out there. Share your idea on the comment section. Tell me what you think. And by the way, if you'd like to have a conversation with me as far as the finance is concerned, investment, give me a call. My number is on the description of this specific video, and we can have a conversation, obviously at a cup of coffee's price. And again, I do have booklets about investments. You can get a copy for you. And we move to the next level. For now, it's a goodbye. See ya.